Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. This is going to be a reading on Nancy Mace in a recent interview she had with George Stephanopoulos, where he was asking her about her support for Trump, even though he's been convicted of rape. She's made public her story about being raped at age 16, and he was trying to ask her about how does she reconcile her support for Trump, who is a convicted rapist. But before I get into that story, there's something else I want to share with you. This hat. In case you didn't know, I have a second YouTube channel called Tarot of the Seven Seas. And whenever I talk about Tarot of the Seven Seas and I pimp it, I put on my purple pimp hat. Actually, it's my wife's purple pimp hat. But don't let anybody else know. It's her secret. Anyways, Tarot of the Seven Seas, the video that's going up tonight, or went up at 10 o'clock tonight, 2 hours after you see this video, is on Princess Catherine and a health update with her. Actually, it's a little bit more different than that, but that's what it ended up being. She posted up a Mother's Day picture, and it caused all sorts of controversy because it appears to have been doctored, and people notice these things. And so now there's what was supposed to calm people down seems to have caused a lot of confusion and turmoil. So that reading looks into that picture and the energy around the situation. So if you're kind of curious as to what's going on with the royals and Princess Kate's health and things like that, go check out Tarot of the Seven Seas. I'll have a link in the description, and we turn you back to your regularly scheduled video. Okay, pimp hat off, glasses back on, cards in hand, overhand shuffling. I think while I was futzing around on TikTok today, I saw a clip of her interview with George Stephanopoulos. You know, Katie Britt, I was telling you how cringy she was. She's painful to watch. It's, lack of a better description, it's like going to the elementary school talent show and some kids are going to get up there and sing their favorites pop song, and they're really not good, and you just have to kind of suffer through it. I always liked it when the kids were going to go up there and play the piano because, like, okay, they'll probably do pretty well with this one. The singing was just brutal. This is different. Nancy Mace, when asked the question, how does she reconcile supporting Donald Trump with her rape experience when he's a convicted rapist? And she got all defensive and was accusing Stephanopoulos of trying to shame her. And I watched the question, and there was nothing about shaming that was involved with his question. And so he went back, he tried to explain, I'm not trying to shame you, I'm just asking, I'm curious, could you give us some insight how you reconcile these things, because it's not obvious. And she just went off on him, you know, basically attacking him, again, saying that he's shaming her and she's had to live with that rape for 30 years and he never had to, and, you know, just hitting this guy over and over again. Of course, refusing to answer the question because she doesn't want to answer it. She went on Fox News later and basically said that, you know, let's see, it's almost like rape is bad unless you're a Republican, and then we're going to shame you for it. That's what the message she's putting on Fox News, and that's where she was going with it with him. Quote in here from her was, any rape victim will tell you that, and I've lived with it for 30 years, an incredible amount of shame over being raped. It's a shame that you will never feel, George. Nice. And I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential rape victim. I'm not going to do that. Oh, by the way, then she went on to criticize E. Jean Carroll for making light of her case. You know, talking about going shopping after she won her settlement. Oh, but it's okay for Donald Trump to just say the rudest, crudest things, but everybody else has to have all the way up here. You know? I got another 5-minute rant before I start a video. Nancy Mace, you are not on my list here. So I want to find out what's the energy around Nancy Mace We all can agree that Katie Britt, if she was a vice presidential hopeful, not after that performance, but man, oh man, I'm starting to wonder if Nancy Mace is auditioning for Trump VP slot number 1. Entertainment purposes only. What's the energy around Nancy Mace? 2 of Cups. Agreements, contracts. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's auditioning. She's certainly towing the us versus them. She's doing nothing to find common ground with Democrats. And and I'm not saying, I don't know if Stephanopoulos is a Democrat. Let's assume he is. I don't know. He's a reporter. He has a show. He asked a legitimate question. This should have been an easy question for her to answer because she has unique insight into it given her background, but it's contradicted by her support. And he called her out on it, and she clearly didn't want to answer it. Poison cup for her. The Fool card. Again, I would not be surprised if Trump offered her a vice presidentship and she's agreed to him with it. Of course, she doesn't realize he's offered it to 4 other people, but or 3 other people. So she's gonna walk off the cliff with him. Somebody pointed out the golden showers. He's wearing gold boots. It might walk right off the cliff with this guy. She came across to me as absolutely confrontational, angry, mean-spirited, uninformed, unfair. She was horrible. Just horrible. I know one of the commenters had a funny comment about Katie Britt sharpening her fangs every morning. Man, Katie Britt doesn't have fangs. This woman has fangs. Underneath it all is the 7 of coins. We're talking about health or wealth here. Evaluations. I think she went on this as an audience for Trump. I think she's auditioning for something of value in Trump's camp. Now, she's a House member, so they can't really afford to have her resign her position for the House to help Trump out because it's going to decrease their margin even more. But don't be surprised if she's auditioning for something here. Maybe she is that 4th person because I know there were 4 people that were auditioning to be Trump VPs. And she's got the cred. She's, again, an attractive-looking woman. And not trying to... I got hammered for throwing comments out there, but she's not an unattractive woman. She's an attractive-looking woman, which Trump likes. He's all about optics. It's not about David's optics. It's about Trump's optics. And... rapists are attracted to people who've been raped. I don't know why. That's what I've heard. I suppose I could go digging up a link on that. But, it's just like, he would be attracted to her because she's just another victim for him. And I'm sure he would be creepy Donald Trump with her as well. Just, she'll defend him fiercely. And yeah, there's just a lot about her that Trump would like optics wise. She's a fighter and stuff like that, but she might do everything that he tells her to. In the past judgment. Now, I do wonder if her overreaction to this is that she has been judged and shamed before to the point where she cannot rationally recognize somebody asking a reasonable question versus somebody shaming her. I don't doubt if you were raped when you were 16 years old that there's all kinds of shame that you carry with you. It's completely and utterly unfair. But I don't doubt that she carries that. My concern is if after 30 years, this is how you react when somebody just asks you a simple question about your previous experience in dealing with somebody who's perpetrated that same crime against women and convicted of it, why you lose your mind. By the way, she was saying that was a civil case, that wasn't a criminal case. Like it matters? Like it matters. Rape is rape, whether it's convicted criminally or civilly. It doesn't change the action. I'm getting grumpy. Spirit, I'm getting grumpy. Just letting you know. In case you all hadn't figured it out. All the aura readers out there, I'm kind of curious what color my aura just changed on that last exchange. I'm sure it is some various form of murder red, Current situation, Four of Swords. Well, after that outburst, she might need to take a little bit of a break. Or maybe more to the point is probably nobody's going to ask her that question again. I'm sure she made it quite evidently clear that if you ask it again, you are just going to get hammered with the same answer. So why bother asking her? I think also, if she has agreement with Trump, she's in the waiting phase with it. I think also that, and if we now roll the rape into this as well, something that happened. I don't know who raped her. I don't know her story. I don't know if it was a family member. It probably was a family member or a boyfriend or something like that. I don't know if it was a stranger, because it looks like if this is about the rape, it was about somebody she knew when she was young, and she's been judged for it. Deep-seated injuries with that haven't been resolved. Yeah. If we're talking about the rape, she was young. She was naive or foolish, maybe trusting of this person that did that to her. But now she's repeating it with Trump. If she's doing the VP thing, she's setting herself up with another man that says, "Here, little girl, would you like some candy? Will you help me find my puppy?" That sort of thing. It's that naivety. And maybe she's really angry and hurt and shameful because she was young and naive and just didn't know better. Maybe as an adult, she would have seen the warning signs and not put herself in that position. She's not being very kind to herself, is what I'm saying. She's not being very forgiving of herself in that situation. If we're talking about the Stephanopoulos interview or future interviews, he wasn't trying to, it wasn't a gotcha moment. He was trying to connect with her on something that she would have some unique perspective on, but at the same time, her decision versus her history wasn't aligning. So he was trying to give her a chance to explain her position so that everybody would understand why she's supporting Trump when she's supporting Trump. I'm now doing 3 readings on the same spread, but that's kind of how these things end up going. Overarching energy is the King of Cups. So if we talk about the Stephanopoulos thing, he kept his poise. He wasn't trying to shame her. He was trying to be reasonable in finding out the answer. She's the one who lost her poise. She was just the angry, emotional wreck. Now, and by emotional, I don't mean she was sobbing like Katie Britt. That's just cringy emotion. But she was so angry to be out of control and not in control of her emotions. And this is not to say that that's not a tender subject for her. Again, she's got some deep wounds here. She was maybe young, naive, didn't see the warning signs, but these wounds run so deep that she gets fierce and to scare people off, being as mean as she can. You think about it, if she was probably that fierce and mean during the actual act, it may not have happened. So it's kind of like this is what I should have done the whole time type thing. It's like it's almost like she's reliving the rape. And this is how she's dealing with it. This woman, honestly, I think she needs a lot more therapy than what she's had. Outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, and to throw the Trump reading in here, then this is her chance to be the VP to help defeat Joe Biden. Outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. She's lucky she wasn't raped nowadays, because then she'd be forced, if she got pregnant, she'd be forced to have the baby, right? I think that in the Stephanopoulos interview, she got what she wanted out of it. She didn't have to answer the question. She doesn't have to deal with the shame of the act. If it was for Trump, I think she scored major points with Donald Trump for defending him and showing how fierce she could be. As far as being a rape victim, Um, the health card, this could be mental health, but honestly, you know what this, and I hate to say this, but it's almost like this rape has become a cherished, valuable thing of hers, and you don't attack it. It's kind of her story. It's what brings her wealth and character. You know, it's her story to get her elected to the House. You know, that type of thing. This is my story, and you can't have it. Don't you dare question my story. Don't you dare belittle my story. And he wasn't. He was just asking, how do you do that? There's a lot of layers going on with this. Oh my. And again, and the reason why I could read multiple layers on this, it's because it's all the same thing. It's all the same energy. It's all the same lesson, just with different wrapping paper on it. It's the same present inside. Whether she's using it to find value with Donald Trump, she's using it to find value in putting off answering that question to Stephanopoulos, and the fact that she hasn't dealt with it. So, because it's almost like here's your thing. She hasn't dealt with it enough. It's still causing problems, such that when Stephanopoulos interviews her, she just snaps and snarls at him, which then you get Donald Trump offering the VP ship because she's a victim and he knows he can control her. The rapist and his victim. It's just on a energetic level, he senses it with her and he knows how to manipulate her. It's kind of, again, for the ladies out there, you've all had friends, or you maybe yourself have been in an abusive relationship, and you watch these people time and time and time again get into abusive relationships. They just attract them. And I think Nancy Mace is in that same boat. VP ships. What's the energy around Nancy Mace, Donald Trump, and proposed vice president position? Again, I've originally I thought Kristi Noem, when I saw her look, I thought he would choose Kristi Noem based on looks and stuff like that. With Nikki Haley, I keep getting that he wants Nikki Haley to be his VP. Not because he wants Nikki Haley as his VP, but he wants her money and he wants her voters. And whether or not she's the VP, it could be a cabinet post, who knows. But he absolutely wants her endorsement. With Nancy Mace, he's being creepy. There's that creepy energy around it. And she's fierce for him. She says she's willing to compromise even an event like rape in order to defend Trump. That's exactly who the cult leader is looking for. Emperor. Question is, Donald Trump offering her the VP ship. What's the energy around her in the VP ship with Donald Trump? He would be in charge. Oh, the drunken hillbilly brawl. Causing chaos and mayhem. He alone can fix it. Two of Wands. Don't be surprised if he's got 5 people on the list now that they're all fighting for the position to be the vice president. But I assure you, she is one of them. If there are 5 people, she's one of the 5. And he's trying to make his decision who it's going to be. Maybe he's got his top 2 candidates of the 5. Tim Scott, I'm sorry, man. You aren't. The glass slipper isn't going to fit on your foot. Just saying. Just saying. Elise Stefanik, Kristi Noem, Nancy Mace, and Nikki Haley would be the 5. And he's down to 2. And I'll bet you Nancy Mace is one of the 2. It's probably Nancy Mace and Kristi Noem is who he wants. It could be Elise Stefanik, I suppose. You know, your bet's on that one. I would say Nikki Haley, and the cards keep showing Nikki Haley, but maybe I'm misinterpreting those cards. I think he wants her endorsement, her money, and her voters. He doesn't want her as the VP. He'll take her as the VP if that's what he has to do to get those other three things, but he'd rather not give her that position to get those three things. This is about Trump and the VP ship. In the past, the Eight of the Eight of Wands, the messaging. Oh, Trumpy. He is got the secret messages going out. He probably had up to 8 people that he messaged about the VP position, and he's down to his final 5, and he's got 2 in mind. The other 3, they're just there to provide what, like Tim Scott, just to provide whatever service he can get, but he has no intention of having them in there. Current situation is the Tower, but here's the interesting part. I think, okay, another reader had seen this, and I had repeated it. It could be somebody blows the lid off of the whole VP, off the whole VP thing going on about the 5 people that have been offered the VP ship. Somebody may blow the lid off of this. And then we'll find out because they blew the lid off, Trump's going to say, no, that person was never it. It was always between these 2 people. And then he loses the 3 people, and then you're down to the 2. Ah! Dropping cards here. It's going to be a woman. It could be a mom. Oh, Katie Britt should have been that list too, right? It's going to be a mom. It's going to be a woman. It's absolutely going to be a woman. So, sorry. Again, Tim Scott, you're out of the thing. Now, that doesn't get rid of Elise Stefanik. It doesn't get rid of Katie Britt. It doesn't get rid of Nancy Mace. It doesn't get rid of Kristi Noem. It doesn't get rid of Nikki Haley. Other than the fact that Nikki Haley said she doesn't want it. But, of course, when you say no, that just makes the emperor want you to say yes. That's creepy. I'm sorry. Again, if you're drinking your coffee and you just spit it out, my apologies. This card, that's right, because this card fell out. Justice reversed, but Justice card here. Okay, we'll read it as a reverse, but the injustice of it. This isn't... Trump's court cases are going to be a problem here. If we read this as a reverse, it's about the injustice of it all. Trump's not being fair. He doesn't... Okay. Got it. Pardons. He wants pardons. He wants whoever this person is, they are going to have to be totally subservient to the emperor, and they're going to have to do his bidding. At the very last minute, if justice is coming for Trump, this person is going to pledge that they're going to save his bacon. Pardons, for if he's leaving the office, if he can't get a coup and be president for life, he's going to want this person to pardon him immediately, if not sooner. Out comes the Temperance. And she's probably promised to do that. Temperance. The 2 people detoxifying down to 1. We're just waiting. He's waiting to find out who he decides he's going to pick. Wow, look at all these major arcana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I do think she's one of the 2. I do think that Nancy Mace is one. I'm going to officially call her one of the final 2. And maybe one day I'll do a reading on everybody else. But Nancy, I think she's ahead of Elise Stefanik. I think she's ahead of Kristi Noem. I think she's ahead of Nikki Haley. Again, I think Nikki Haley's close. I think Katie Britt might have been up there. But after that cringy performance... Now, if Trump liked that cringy performance, then it's Katie Britt and Nancy Mace. Guarantee you. But if Trump looked at that and said, oh my God, that was horrific. If it were me, that one's she's going nowhere near the vice presidentship. It would be like knowing now, Dan Quayle wasn't even that bad. I voted for HW back in the day. Dan Quayle. Oh my God. I mean, oh God, Lloyd Benson was, now there was a vice president, and I was a Republican. I didn't like the Democrats, but I liked Lloyd Benson. The whole I knew John F. Kennedy and you're no John F. Kennedy. I think that was the quote. Just slam the door in his face. Oh, that man. He probably would have been a great VP. Where's he these days? He had a little bit of attitude for the Democrats. Anyways, that was Walter Mondale's partner, running mate, wasn't it? Ooh, it's opening some brain cells. Anyways, what do we know about Nancy Mace? She's got issues, unresolved issues, and she put them out there for everybody to see. But I also think she put it out there for Trump to see, to show how fiercely loyal she is, and I think he's attracted to that. Top 2 candidate for VP. Telling you. Katie Britt, I don't think she's in the running. He likes that fierceness. Katie Britt's got the subservient aspect that he likes, like the Mike Pence type of vibe. She's got that Mike Pence kind of vibe, or at least she did on that cringy State of the Union video. I don't know what she's like. I haven't seen other videos of her, but that State of the Union one was not a good look. Doesn't want Nikki Haley. Just wants everything she has to offer. And then there's Christine, whatever. Annalise Stefanik. So many choices for him. When's his health event? Can we get that on the calendar? Isn't it past his jail time, as Jimmy Kimmel might say? Anyways, I'm rambling. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks just discovering this channel for the first time, welcome. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.